Okay, we've all been there, right? You're stuck in some automated customer service loop, just mashing the zero key, getting more and more frustrated with a robot voice that just doesn't get it. It's a universal feeling. But what if there's a better way? A smarter way to mix that tech with a real human touch? Well, that's exactly the big idea we're going to break down today.
This single word, we have all shouted it into our phones. It's pretty much the universal sound of a system failing, isn't it? It's that moment you realize the machine just can't help, and all you need, is to talk to an actual person. This exact frustration is the problem a whole new approach to customer service is trying to solve for good.
For years, we've thought about this as a battle. Clumsy but cheap bots on one side versus expensive but empathetic humans on the other. It was always a trade-off. But the new way, the one we're digging into, it isn't about one replacing the other. It's all about collaboration. It's not bots versus humans, it's bots plus humans, working together on the same team. So, what do we actually call this powerful new idea? It's known as hybrid orchestration. And yeah, as you can see, it really is all about getting the absolute best of both worlds. So what is it really? Well, think of hybrid orchestration as a really smart system that knows how to blend the raw speed and power of an AI with the things humans are just better at. Empathy, good judgment, solving really tricky problems. It knows when to let the machine run and exactly when to call in a person. And this right here perfectly boils it down. If you remember one thing today, let it be this simple equation. We want the speed of AI plus the warmth of human empathy. That's the whole goal. This is the guiding light for the entire system. Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, but how does it actually work? The best way to get your head around it is with a pretty cool analogy. Think of an AI that acts like an air traffic controller for every single customer issue coming in. Now, the technical name for this brain is the AI orchestration layer. And just like a real air traffic controller doesn't fly any of the planes, right? They just direct all the traffic to make sure everything is safe and efficient. This AI does the same thing. It doesn't solve every problem itself. Instead, it manages the whole flow of communication. So this AI brain basically has three main jobs. First up is task routing. This is for the simple, repetitive stuff it can handle instantly. Second, and this is key, is smart escalation. It can actually sense when a customer is getting upset or when a problem is just too complex, and it seamlessly passes them to a human. And third is agent assistance, where it acts like a co-pilot for the human, pulling up all the right info in real time so they can help faster. Now, this all sounds pretty amazing, but trying to use AI without the right protections in place can be a huge risk. And that brings us to a very recent and very public cautionary tale from a major airline. This is the one question every single business has to be asking itself. Because, let's be real, AIs are not perfect. They can and do make mistakes. So what happens then? What are the real-world consequences? So here's what happened. A customer needed to fly for a funeral, and they asked the Air Canada support chatbot about their bereavement fare policy. The chatbot very confidently gave them the wrong information. It promised a discount that they could get after they bought the ticket. But when the customer went to get that discount, the human agents at Air Canada said no, pointing to the real policy on the website. The airline actually argued that its chatbot was a totally separate thing, and they weren't responsible for what it said. The court, however, did not see it that way. The ruling was a bombshell. It said that, legally, Air Canada was absolutely responsible for the wrong information its own AI gave out. This set a huge precedent. Basically, your AI isn't some separate contractor. It is your company. You can't just blame the bot. And the takeaway from all this is so, so important. Your AI is a direct representative of your company. This means the old excuse of, oh, we're still working out the kinks, just doesn't fly anymore. Legally and for your reputation, what your AI says can be just as binding as what your CEO says. Having safeguards isn't just a good idea, it's absolutely mandatory.
Okay, so now that we get the theory and the big-time risks, let's make it practical. I'm going to put you in the control tower for a minute. I'll give you 3 common customer questions. You decide. Does this go to a bot, or do we need to get a human on the line?
All right, first one up. A customer at a bank asks for the routing number for wire transfers. What do you think? Bot or human?
Yep, that's a perfect job for a bot. A total slam dunk. Why? Because the answer is just a fact. It's the same for everybody, and there's basically zero emotion involved. An AI can answer that in a split second, which frees up the humans to deal with tougher stuff.
Okay, scenario number 2. The customer says, I suspect someone stole my credit card and I am very upset. What's the call here? Bot or human?
Oh yeah, 100%. This has to go to a human and fast. The keywords here are suspect, stole, and especially very upset. This situation is loaded with emotion, and it needs the empathy and critical thinking of a real person. Trying to automate this would be an absolute disaster. And for our last one, a super common, simple request: how do I reset my password? This one, it goes right back to the bot. It's just a standard, step-by-step process, and AI can walk the user through it or just send them a link, and the problem is solved in seconds. It is the textbook definition of a routine, low-stakes task.
So, here it is, a super simple checklist you can use for pretty much anything. Just ask 2 questions. 1, is the task repetitive? And 2, is the situation low emotion? If you get a yes to both of those, it's a great candidate for AI. But if the answer to either one is no, you've got to keep a human in the loop. It's that simple.
So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this final thought. This idea of hybrid orchestration, of pairing machine efficiency with human judgment, it goes way beyond just customer service. So, think about your own world, your own job. What's a complex problem that could be solved not by replacing people, but by giving them the perfect AI team?